Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Princess of STEM, where we discuss all things science, technology, engineering, and math. And now your host, Dr. Whitney Gaskins.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Princess of STEM Diaries. We are going to be talking about some interesting things today, like every day, but go ahead. Delano is leading this discussion, and I am Garnish.
So you're just going to nod?
I'm going to say, yeah, and yeah, I don't think anything else I'm going to contribute.
Okay. So there were a couple of things that happened in the last...
Let's just say 6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
But then two things happened like in the last, from the recording time, 24 hours. That kind of... So we had already said we were going to talk about this.
Yeah, we had planned this episode a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
And so we're talking about DEI, and I'm going to leave it out there. I think because we'll kind of talk about what it means, because I think when you hear those words, it's like, oh my God, the boogeyman. And we don't actually take time to talk about it. So two things happened, and I don't remember his name because it just happened. It's not in front of me. Ohio State.
Oh, you're talking about the president?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Okay.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Did you say duh?
Duh.
Never have a Michigan man get on the show and then start talking anything about Ohio, because then you do stuff like that.
Well, I'll give him credit because I don't care. I don't hate Ohio State people outside of sports. Like, they're good people at Ohio State, good close friends at Ohio State, and especially in this space, conversations with Ohio State people, I love having them. And Ohio State is always, for me, an interesting case study because Ohio State, by definition, up until recently, would have been considered pretty progressive.
Interesting view.
More progressive than the university in Cincinnati. Columbus overall is...
Columbus as a city, absolutely.
Yes. So I would say Columbus as a city, yes. I think Ohio State has the weight of being what's considered the flagship institution in the state.
They literally are probably, what do they call them in race? Pace setters?
Mm-hmm.
They set the pace.
And so I think they have that. And so being in a state, again, and we've talked about this on episodes before, where they have a whole second set of laws about equity and things like that. Ohio State is always probably going to be a target.
Because they're the flagship.
They're the flagship. So they're always going to, focus on what Ohio State is doing.
Yeah.
The other piece is they're right around the corner from the state capitol.
Literally,
so
down
their
the
legislature is going to be looking at what they're doing because they're in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. They hired a new president.
Yes.
Somebody who is very well qualified.
Yes.
Provost at 2 Research One institutions, was a department chair.
Put some respect. Yeah, I was like, put some respect on his name.
Overly qualified.
Yeah.
You mentioned, should have been president a long time ago. Somewhere.
Yeah, I think he could have been president 2 presidents ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I saw the post and I said, let me head on over to the comments to see what was happening.
So wait, were you genuinely curious, or were you like, did you have a hypothesis?
Oh, I knew it was coming because he's a gentleman of, I believe, of Indian descent.
Yeah, I don't know his heritage.
I don't know his heritage, but he's a brown gentleman, as we would describe.
Yeah.
So I said, let me head on over to the comments and see how the social media verse is taking this. I said, first comment, it's not going to take 2 hands for those who are waiting with bated breath. Second comment. Third comment.
Okay.
Fourth comment.
Yes.
Fifth comment. He's a DEI hire. There it is.
You got into 5?
Oh, yeah, it took 5. I told people, I said, guess how many comments it took to get there? And I told them, you will not have to use a second-hand account.
The 5th comment was
saying, the 5th comment.
This highly qualified gentleman
Well, they don't believe they just looked at the Browns.
He has.
Yeah, we see it.
Have you read his resume, his pedigree? What part of it is considered? Wait a minute. Let me go back because I'm not even supposed to be really talking, but I can't handle this.
Because this isn't about a policy. This is about respect, putting respect on someone's name.
Put some respect on his name.
Nothing to do with how you feel about. Besides, putting respect on his name.
He is so qualified. So, because he's brown, he's DEI?
Yes.
Is that the definition? Well, we don't know if it's the definition because I've been watching those deposition tapes from the Doge.
That's the second one.
Oh, go for it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, we can talk. Well, we talk about both, right?
I don't care.
So I've been into the comments and I was like, I need to save some of this energy for today.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at some of the comments and it's so perfect. Like you hear people and they say such stupid stuff besides saying that they don't want this man.
Like what?
The one I just responded to, and I try my best not to.
Are you keyboard thugging again?
This was university presidents don't generally get hired at this level of institution without being a president somewhere else. Jim Tressel would have been a better hire than him. That's the one I responded to.
Yeah.
And I had to, this was my response because I had to look it up.
Yes.
Only about 25% of university presidents have been previously of R1, and R1 means research one.
Institution, yeah.
Only about 25% have been presidents before they were
the president at an R1.
The most
75% of the people, this is their first time.
This is their first.
Okay.
You want to know what the most common position is for a person to get their first president job as
What is it?
Provost. You know what this gentleman was?
The provost.
At more than one institution. So I had to respond with some of that fact. And
what is Jim Tressel's qualifications that they...
He was president. Remember, like it's
not
difficult.
At Ohio State.
No, but he was president at Youngstown.
Yeah, I was like, he was at
Youngstown. So their basic premise was,
they wanted because he was a president at Youngstown.
He was an unqualified president at Youngstown.
Because what was his qualification before that?
He was a football coach who cheated. That's my Michigan bias. Just hopped all in that conversation. No, he was a football coach previously. He was a very beloved football coach in Ohio.
No, I know that. I know who Tressel is from the football world.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a faculty member?
I don't believe so.
Does he have a PhD?
I don't know.
Was he ever a provost?
No.
Did he ever even teach a class?
I don't believe so.
I'm literally confused.
He has honorary degrees. So he has a bachelor's and a master's. I think the master, and yes, I went down this rabbit hole because I wanted to have well-informed arguments.
Okay.
His master's is from Baldwin Wallace. Okay. I wasn't caring about the master's. I was looking for the PhD that would require you to even be faculty at this institution.
Yes.
He doesn't have one. And so he got, through the Good Old Boy Network, he got the job at Youngstown, which is, we'll get to probably some of that and how this Good Old Boy Network works in general.
I am really dumbfounded.
That was his argument.
You know I'm dumbfounded, though. Personally, I get told I'm not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough. I have to do like my goalpost for excellence has always been changed and shifted. Well, you need to do this. I do it. Oh, well, now you have to do this. So then I do it. No, now you have to do this. Like I am told over and over and over again how unqualified I am. This man has never been a faculty member.
He was a good football coach, though.
I'm good at a whole lot of things, and no one ever said, well, that's because now you're qualified. Mm-hmm. I'm actually fantastic at quite a few things. And nobody has ever said, just because I was good at that one thing, you can now be the president of the university. I actually get told exactly the opposite. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that I didn't know his background. I knew he was a football coach because I believe people can be multidimensionally talented.
A very successful football coach.
Okay,
I'll
but
give him to the point where he was elevated to the point where people revere him in Ohio. I don't think he's qualified at all.
I was like,
that's why they could even entertain the concept of this dude being the president of the university because he was so revered and he got a job that he shouldn't have gotten in the first place. Like, we can even talk about why he shouldn't have been in Youngstown.
Yeah, he should never have been leading Youngstown.
The person to whose post I responded said, presidents don't come from people who aren't presidents for. Wrong, but that was his justification. He should have just said, I want Tressel because I like football.
People do know that the president of the university doesn't really do anything with the football team, right? Like, the president actually has to lead the business of the university, which the reason why I'm asking about the faculty position, the large majority of the business of an institution is to educate. And so you have no idea about the academic fabric that makes up the institution. Why are you leading it? Now, I would argue that that's more of a provost job, right? Like, they are actually, the provost makes sure the academic side of the house is handling its business, and they report up to the president, right? So as long as you have a strong provost, I could make the argument that that might not need to be your qualification to be the president. But at a higher ed institution, I would suspect that you have more understanding of that academic fabric to know what was going, at least been a department head, a dean or something, before you are leading an institution of ed.
Yes. So the new president, and then the other argument is this was really rushed.
The guy, okay. I said I was going to be quiet. Y'all know.
Oh, you can answer this because you work.
I'm laughing because my grade cards in elementary school, I got the whole she talks too much. And I'm like, I still talk too much. It doesn't matter. Who you going to go tell now? Because you used to tell me to my mom. She didn't stop it. And here I am today. Mm-hmm. Can't even be quiet.
So he's been a dean at a top school.
Are you talking about Georgia Tech?
I don't remember. I know he was.
No, he was a department head at Georgia Tech.
Department head at Georgia Tech.
No. But let's put some respect on that, because Georgia Tech's departments are like the size of some people's entire colleges. Like,
right.
He was the department head of biomedical engineering that has almost 100 faculty on in its own department, where, like, just so people understand the scale of that, the University of Cincinnati's entire College of Engineering has 182 faculty. Mm-hmm. This one department at Georgia Tech has 100 people. Mm-hmm. So, like, when you talk about I was a department head at Georgia Tech, you were almost a dean compared to anywhere.
He was also a dean, I believe, at Duke.
Okay, so then he was dean.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, like.
But there are a significant number of comments that it's a DEI hire.
Yeah, but that's so. What are people actually saying then? So
he ain't white.
All right, cut episode. Like, there's nothing else to talk about. So is that really the default? If anything isn't white, it means that it's DEI?
Apparently.
Where does that leave everybody else in the world? Like, I am literally a highly functioning member of society. I don't deserve anything because I'm Black and a woman.
Okay, so we could talk about that too. Because
no, I'm
this
genuinely
is what I was going to talk about before the two things come out. So we could talk about that before we bridge to that testimony.
Okay.
You are highly qualified. And I feel like, I won't say it's a disservice. I think something bad happened with the elevation of DEI is that qualified minorities were put in the DEI roles.
Yes,
because they were
plucked
good
from
at
our excellence.
They were put into this role, and it became this narrative like that was the only thing y'all were good at. And so you, for instance, were really good. You were doing really good stress research.
Yeah.
Your teaching scores were out of the park.
Yeah.
You were writing, you were doing all these things, and they said, we want to elevate you based on your excellence.
Yeah.
And they decided, because we have this, I won't say it's a problem, because we have this need, we're going to put you into this role.
Yes.
It happens with a lot of people.
There is more to that. But
There's more to that.
Yeah.
But I think that's how a lot of people get pushed in the DEI roles, or what would be defined as DEI roles.
Yeah.
You are already excellent. You are qualified. You have a PhD. You have a master's. You have all these excellent qualifications.
Yeah.
and you were put in a DEI because there was a need there.
Well, my research intersected too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was studying the impact of stress when we were talking about marginalized groups. So like, how are Black folks in engineering experiencing this engineering culture compared to their peers? And then I was running programs, right? Like I was running programs, a retention program, to figure out if I could help mitigate the stress. Like, is there an intervention that we could implement that would help with matriculation? I was doing that independently, like without institutional backing and support or structure. So when my research intersected, instead of like elevating my research, they elevated me. Does that make sense? Into a position surrounding DEI. Yeah.
And so that's what happens a lot. And so I remember one of my mentors in NASB, National Black Engineers, Marion Blaylock, used to say, when we get VPs to come to the convention to speak, why are there not Black VPs of technology, Black VPs of research? Usually that VP that comes to speak is like a VP of diversity.
Yeah, it's like the CDO.
And it's like it's like they put this cap that if you were really good, then you elevate to this CDO position.
Yeah.
Where you can as easily
have been elevated
succeed
as
to a CTO or research person or, a COO. Yeah. And so for us, I think in many ways we were excited to be elevated to those positions.
It feels good to be seen.
Yes.
But I don't think I saw the maliciousness of what I was being seen as.
Right.
See, this is a good lesson in like other people pushing their expectations and narrative on your own story. Because they didn't actually see the excellence in my research. They just saw a Black woman that was here. Right. Oh, that hurts my feelings.
Right. I also think it's interesting because, and they've said stupid stuff like this. Like the students, and I've helped you teach this class, so I'll say our class. We teach a calculus collaborative class. The students in our class do 15 points higher on their tests.
On average. Yeah.
That's not a Black success program. So instead of saying you have a recipe to make things work, they say, well, you shouldn't just have this for the Black kids. It's never just been for the Black kids.
You would just never
That's
let it.
That's the other lie. It's never been just for the Black kids. You just still wanted to frame it in this way.
Well, there's this whole superiority thing, right? Like, oh, I don't need that. Like, people really buy into this. I don't need that. I'm prepared. I don't need that. I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, you do need this, actually. And it has nothing to do with your identity. It has everything to do with what is necessary as a wraparound support for you to be successful. But people think it's remedial to have wraparound support. And then people assume because of an identity, a certain identity, the wraparound support is only for that. Marginalization. And we're like, nah, boo, everybody would benefit from this because that's what it takes to succeed, period. Everyone else needs to check their own bias of why you think, one, it's remedial to need wraparound support services. And two, why do you assume because somebody has an identity that's the thing that they need to get through? It's crazy to me that we go through bias training and people still don't check their own bias.
And so instead of saying this person has created something that's good for the masses, they say you want to put it in this box.
Yes.
I also think Black people, it's a comfort level for them.
What do you mean?
Black people use it as a way to not have to recognize other Black people's excellence.
What do you mean?
Like, for instance, you didn't get a role that on a board.
Okay.
The person that was over that role told you something.
Yeah.
That it wasn't safe for you to have that role.
Yes.
Black people said you didn't get that role. And this is after you were not doing DEI work.
Yeah, I stepped
Black people were telling
people
you didn't get the role because you were doing DEI work. Black people said that.
Yes.
Which was incorrect because you were not doing DEI work.
Yeah.
But they said, okay, well, she didn't get a position on this board because her role is DEI, which isn't true. And so in many ways, I feel like it's a way for Black people to not have to recognize that sometimes some people are more qualified than them.
Yes.
And so it's a way for them to, I feel it's their comfort as well.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You have a memory like an elephant.
I do. One day our book is going to be banging.
I feel like my nervous system, and keep in mind I did study stress for a while, but I do think that I, as a self-protection measure, forget things. Otherwise, I would probably be in a deeper depression about what I experienced, because I don't know what it is about me, but I invite crazy. And so I always try to examine, what aura am I giving off that people say the craziest things to me, treat me all kinds of crazy. Like, and sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm exaggerating or make it up. When I wrote it factually, line by line in a bullet point, I shared it with a few people. And a few people were like, WTF. Because you might hear one of the bullet points, but when you see all of them together, you realize that people just truly treat me like crap.
Right. And
I don't get it.
It's interesting because they talk about that we have to be twice as good.
Yeah.
And so let's look at Ketanji.
She's freaking amazing. I read her book. I loved it.
She's so much better qualified than just about everybody.
Every other Supreme Justice that's been appointed after her, or even a little bit before her.
And people will still say it's a DEI high. She's DEI.
You know what really bothered me? I don't know. I didn't look into this. But she went to college with Rafael Cruz.
Yes, that's his name. We're not trying to be funny.
No, his name is Rafael.
Yeah, so if anybody looks at this like they're trying to be ridiculous by calling you what your mama named you.
He went by Rafael until he decided to run for the political position, and I think he realized that Rafael isn't going to win in America, so he called himself Ted.
Not on the side he wanted to be.
I don't know if that's true, but honey, why would you change your name from Rafael to Ted? Your name is Rafael. Anyway, so Rafael and her are classmates, and they used to like kind of, I don't want to like, there was a lot of tension. I think it was like a college, like they had good debate or whatever, and he knows how amazing she is. Like, I think that he knows that. I wish he would have supported her. Like, I'm not a stranger to you. We were in college together. We worked together. We debated together. Like, we had good, even if we weren't on the same side of an issue, we had good rapport. And I don't know if this is true, but I hope that man stood up for her.
I don't think he can't.
Do you know how disgusting that is? That you know how good of a person she is, and you just sat there and let me get destroyed when you know that I don't deserve it? Yeah. I just love Ketanji. I am sorry. Yeah. I just think that,
but it happens
she's
over
amazing.
And over and over.
Yeah.
With the president of OSU.
Yes.
With Ketanji. Even look at Kamala. Kamala was the most qualified.
Hillary was the most qualified person to ever run for president of the United States.
And they still will look at somebody who is basic and say.
And I'm saying that from resume to resume.
Yes, we're talking resume to resume.
I'm not even talking about your political affiliation, what you believe. I'm literally resume to resume. Hillary Clinton literally was the most qualified person to ever run for the president of the United States.
Yes.
Resume to resume. Yes. Kamala was second.
And so.
Over Barack.
Yes. And so we've gotten into these spaces. The fact that they can even compare Melania Trump to Michelle Obama.
I get sick to my stomach every time that people say that Michelle Obama is classless, but then they say Melania is the pillar of classy. And I don't mean, because I'm not really, I'm not a judgy person, but I have never seen all of Michelle Obama's body, but Melania's whole body has been on display on the internet. And I've never heard anyone call somebody in that type of work classy. Right. Like, I've never heard anyone say, like, to an OnlyFans model that she's so classy. But she is. I don't understand when the definition shifted or changed. But that's weird to me.
And so to wrap this conversation, I think we've gotten to a point where long-term this may be good, because we can be seen for who we are, where we start getting into roles that we can excel at that doesn't have to have this artificial stigma on it. But it is frustrating. And so I shared a clip with you.
What clip?
From Blackish a couple weeks ago. I think it might be from like the first episode where he's like, we're about to promote a new senior Black vice president, and I will share it if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
Where he's like, they're all at the table at his company, at his ad exec. And I was like, that's where I fell in love with the show. And they're like, okay, today we're going to promote a new senior vice president. And I think he knows it's him. And so
Andre does.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's like moving. He's like, I'm about to get a promotion. Excuse me. I'm going to sit over there with them. And so they're like, our new senior vice president. Our new senior vice president of urban projects is Andre. And he was like, what? Did they just put me in charge of Black stuff? And I was like, oh, Black is they got it.
They nailed it.
So I think that's where they summed it up, and I think that's what happened. They took the good Black people.
Yeah. And then they put you over Black stuff.
Put you over Black stuff.
Because you can't contribute meaningfully to anything else. You know what the new microaggression is?
What?
Because you know how like people be like, oh, you're so articulate. You speak so well. Like that's like an old school microaggression. You know what the new one is? I didn't realize you were so insightful.
I know you're like, I got 3 degrees. What did you think?
I was you always have really good insights and thoughts.
So that's almost you speak so well.
I literally was like, that is so
They basically say you speak so well about these things.
Oh, you actually understand the budget?
Yes, because that's not Black stuff.
It's and I don't think that they would ever they don't mean it maliciously. Just like I don't believe people thought you speak so well was a bad thing to say, but you really didn't think I had any kind of intellectual capacity. That's crazy to me. I run businesses. Mm-hmm. I've run multi-million-dollar budgets, and you are just so shocked about my insights.
And I think the last thing was these videos of these depositions.
The depositions actually are insane.
Because they are confirming what we've been saying. Because the guy
is what, 20?
Yeah.
He's
something
20 years
like
old?
that. He's young. And they're asking him.
There's one guy that's 20. How old is the other guy? He looks
a little bit
may be
28.
Old. Oh, he had a hard 28.
He been walking into the wind?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a hard 28.
Highway miles?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it, and we'll post a clip, they're asking them how they made the decisions to defund the grants that were deemed DEI, which is interesting because this is part of a lawsuit.
I didn't know. I was wondering
the definitions for a lawsuit. Because remember, places like California found, because again, these were contracts.
Yeah, all of the grants that were terminated for me, I'm like, I thought we had a legal binding contract, right? Like between not me personally, like the university and the agency. So the way they were terminated, I felt like was against the law, but your state has to allow you.
And because we're in Ohio, Ohio has a rule that you have to get the attorney general's permission
to sue. Yeah.
To sue the federal government.
Well,
and so schools in Ohio can't do that.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't want his MAGA folks to get sued. But again, so to that point, you see other places where like California, like all of their programs are still running because Gavin and them like, look, we fight back because you can't, because they said they canceled it because it doesn't fit the administration's
It was like their priorities. Yes.
And I get that. So and this is the thing I say, if these are not your administration and this whole conversation that has happened that has been bothersome, you can say, okay, we're not going to give any more grants out.
Yeah, they didn't need to terminate. They should have
but what they've been saying is all the work that you've ever been doing has been wrong.
Yeah,
that's the stigma that's happened. So they didn't say we're changing priorities. And so any work that you've been doing, we're not going to support moving forward.
Yeah.
What they said was, you did this. This was bad work, and you're a bad person for doing this.
Yeah.
And so that's the rub. And so people are fighting back where they can. But to me, as I said, and I put this on Facebook, I don't think Doge ever was trying to cut waste. They were empowered to cut stuff they didn't like.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't think they ever... What number did they end up saying that they saved the government? Like, what was the efficiency that they found?
It was not a number.
I thought they had a number.
It was not a number that was what they said it would be.
Well, we find out, too, after they factored in wages of the people doing the work, on top of the fact that the things that they were calculating... I don't know if people realize this. They were cutting grants that might have been ending in a month or two anyway. But then they were counting the full life of the grant. Right. So let's say I had a $4 million grant. Right. And it was a 4-year grant. So $1 million a year over those 4 years. They would say they saved $4 million. But the grant might have been ending in 2 months and only had like $100,000 left on it. So you really only saved $100,000, but they were counting in their the total life of the grant. So they were saying they saved $4 million. Right. And that's why I was like, their number was always inflated because they didn't calculate actually the savings from like the disbursement of the grant. They were counting the total amount of funds like the grant was worth. Right. Yeah.
And I think the issue is, in some cases, you get pushback. Some cases, you don't. Because we talked about this when we did the STEM workforce development series. People were beginning to live out their most wildly oppressive.
Oh yes,
dreams.
They were like,
what happened is,
I can oppress people again.
Yes, universities in many cases were cutting things that weren't even illegal anymore. So they were saying, we are living out these things where people, again, I say they were moralizing their preferences, which is something that I first heard when people were talking about relationships. But what was happening, they started moralizing their preference. They don't want you to have a Black cultural center. It's nothing against that. But because we have this rule, and as a lawyer, I don't really like it. So I'm going to interpret it as it's illegal. And so
that's how you feel like it went?
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of things that they didn't like that they said, you're not going to be able to do this because I don't like it.
You know what's interesting about that? I don't disagree. I think some people probably were taking advantage. But the reason why I got really hyped is that there is a faculty member at the University of Miami, Dr. Daryl Rice.
Miami, Ohio. Or
Miami, Ohio.
Okay,
Miami, Ohio.
To clarify.
Yes.
In this area, when we say Miami, it could mean one or two things.
Yes. Yeah. He is suing the university and the board of trustees because they complied, getting rid of programs and spaces and things that were centering DEI. And I don't know the status of that lawsuit right now, but I feel like he was trying to get his power back. And I don't know what the words are, but maybe I'm proud of him for using all of his toolkit to do something instead of just agree.
Yeah. And so we've reached a point where they've been moralizing their preferences and they are making the work. And this is a overreaction to, or I guess a course correction, if you want to say that, to what happened with George Floyd. Because,
because that's 2020. So when everybody was like,
all of the people were supporting DEI because, Eddie Murphy, everyone may not remember this. Eddie Murphy was talking like in one of his stand-up. He's like, at some point, white people were reading through like their Newsweek and reading articles. And it was like, oh my God, apparently the police have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes. And so I feel like... And not me, that's it.
What special was
he only had 2, right? Raw and Delirious. It's one of those. And he was like, he was like, they were reading the articles. Like, apparently the police have been beating it. And that's when police brutality became a focal point. Because Newsweek wrote about it.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy.
Yes, he was like, apparently the police have been beating up Negroes like hotcakes. And so George Floyd was the same thing. And I heard a couple people describe it. And I know Fanon Rucker, we were on the panel. And he was like, at first, it was like one of the first times in recent memory where we went from a moment to a movement. And so after George...
Why do we say that?
I feel like there have been a lot of...
Because I was like,
everybody was like...
memories.
We have very short memories.
We need to start developing our long-term memory because that's not true.
It's not true.
At all.
But to that point, we need DEI and I'll give you credit, and don't know if I want to say this.
I'm scared.
You were one of the first people that actually took the research and was like, no, I don't do DEI work. I do inclusive excellence work.
Yeah.
Because you were the first person. Oh, I'm scared to say this because they're like, oh, she did what? She's a target now.
I'm already a target.
But you were the first person to say, we don't do DEI work. What we do is called inclusive excellence. And I know you didn't make the term up, but you were the first person to bring it here to your campus.
Yeah. And
then from there, like even people who oversaw the university, everything switched from DEI to inclusive excellence. And, and so because you weren't just trying to do stuff because. But
it's all evidence-based work. So I think that people forget about that too. Like, as much as that people are anti-DEI, I can't the reason why I struggle wrapping my head around it is like, what's the opposite? Like, what are you actually anti?
Right.
Because diversity is variation of people, things, right? Like the mix. We're already mixed. Mm-hmm. Like, have you not looked around? What do you want us to do? There's men, there are women, there are Black, brown people. Like, what are we talking about? What are you anti-humanity? Because we're all different. Right. Are you actually against equity? So then we should get rid of all elevators because did people forget elevators were an invention so people could get up the stairs? So if you're anti-equity, you're anti-elevator?
Right.
Like, you don't think people should have things that help you function in the world. Are you anti-ramps? Screw your wheelchair accessibility and moms with strollers. Take the steps because that's an equity measure. Right. Or all of the things that you love on your phone. I see the kids with the phone that lights up. When you get a text message, they turn that feature on. That's not for you to be cool. That's so somebody who's hearing impaired can see that their phone got an alert. Take that off all phone features. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so confused about why we're anti-equity when half the inventions that we enjoy when we don't actually need them are because they're equity measures. Right. You're anti-inclusion, so everybody should be excluded, so you want segregation back. That's what you want. You want segregation. You want to ignore humanity, and you want everyone to struggle.
But to that point, let's look at, because I was listening. The clip I look at, I said he won't say the thing, and I don't know if this has been verified.
What?
That they won't, because he couldn't answer how he was selecting the things to cut, and I was like, we know
the 20-year-old,
because apparently there was an AI generated list of words, and they said if your grant has these words, it has to be cut.
Yeah.
And so of course the dude in the deposition didn't need to be qualified. All he had to do was plug in a grant, and if it matched these words, it got cut.
Yes.
Right. And so that's the rub, because they weren't even using any kind of intellect.
Intellectual rigor. Yeah,
intellectual rigor. They basically were saying if it says Black in it, it gets cut. Because there was an issue, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there was a grant that was focused on geometry that had the word intersectionality in it, which is a math.
No, not even intersectionality. It had the word intersection.
Intersection, which is a mathematical concept. But because intersection and intersectionality appear on the list,
they got rid of it. Did you understand that plant scientists lost grants because they study biodiversity of the ecosystem because of the word diversity? Biodiversity, which is important for us to live, eat, and breathe, got cut. Okay. You know that they cut grants because they said that they were studying cervical cancer, and they were like, well, men don't have cervixes, so it's exclusionary. But you don't hate women or anything. How are we supposed to study cervical cancer because men don't have cervixes? We can't study cervical cancer? What in the world? All of those are true. Like, literally all of those have happened.
Right. So, for those who watch that clip and be like, oh, he's an idiot. He won't say like his qualifications. He didn't need qualifications. He just can't say they used a list because that would strengthen the lawsuit. So just in case.
Oh, that makes sense.
He can't say, well, I didn't need to be qualified. Somebody shoved a list in front of me and I used AI to match this grant for $1 million with the list. And if the words came up, from there it was,
that makes
we just
sense.
saved $1 million. He can't say that on there. Right? Maybe I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer either. I just feel like it probably wouldn't be the smartest thing in a deposition to say, I have no qualifications and I just use this word list, because I think you would win your lawsuit. Right. That it was a nonsensical cut. I don't know what the lawsuit was, so I don't want to.
Yeah, we just were seeing a deposition.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
And he sounds really bad because, of course, he can't say the real answer because he's saying, "How did you know which stuff to pick?" Or I read books and I learned about that.
Yeah,
but then he said, I didn't read any books. It's hard. Like you said, the truth is the easiest route to go. Yeah. But the truth gets you sued in this case.
Yeah, but
just my opinion.
Would he get personally sued though?
I don't think he would get personally sued, but it gives strength to one. It knocks down the whole. It gives strength to whoever is suing, because you can't say that these grants were doing something wrong. Because one, you just admitted you didn't actually read the grant.
Right.
So you can't say it was causing harm. You can't say, they can't explicitly say that our directive was to get rid of stuff with these words. Does that make sense?
Yes. They did look crazy.
Yes.
Because it looked like, what are you saying? Like they were saying a lot of nothing. Like words were coming out of their mouth, but nothing was being said.
Right.
It was weird.
Because he can't say how he was directed to cut.
Yeah. That's an awkward position to be in. Is there any instance where you would just hold on that tough? Because I don't know.
I probably would have played the fifth.
Can you plead the fifth in a deposition?
Probably not. Did Cash Patel? I'm sorry, this is off topic. Okay. We need to wrap this up.
Okay.
Did Cash Patel really plead the fifth the other day?
Yeah, like he.
Dude, you are over the FBI. How are you pleading the fifth?
Yeah.
Fifth.
He was like, oh, the Epstein, I have to plead the fifth. Like,
you are the police. Sorry. So we got to get to our last question. What's our last question? Did you have one? Because I was the one that said we need to talk about this. So I don't even know if you.
I mean, I'm not mad that you talked about it. I said I wasn't going to say anything, and I talked the entire time. I didn't prep a question to end our episode. You have to do that.
Okay.
I'm
gonna let you promote yourself.
Promote myself.
Are you excited about any of the projects you have coming up?
That's a good one, because I am. Okay. I am in love with stimulating adventures. Wesley, Wayland, and Waverly go on these amazing adventures. They meet these really cool people. The animated show is a joy and a highlight of my life. And it's not just because of the show. It's the music that we have been able to produce.
I'm embarrassed to say that finding a German guy to play Beethoven was one of them.
He was fantastic. So I think the show. What about you?
The show gets me hyped. I mean, we're doing so many things. The music from the show, even these beyond the episodes.
Beyond the episodes are good.
Like going in the studio, we just rapped.
I feel like a rapper when I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
Except for Lorenzo's mean to me when we're in the studio.
Yeah, you had to get out of the studio that one time.
I'm still mad about it, by the way.
So I was disappointed because I knew I was the voice of Beethoven, and y'all hated on me because I said...
We did not hate on you. You were a filler.
You said y'all. I said y'all, and y'all fired me because everybody laughed. But we
Lorenzo,
found a German guy.
Did we fire Delano? Was he ever supposed to be the voice of Beethoven? Don't cop. He was never supposed to be Beethoven. You were a filler until we found the voice.
Well, shout out to Nancy.
Nancy, she came through. Gaskins Media, our team is.
So we were like, who do we know that could be Beethoven? We were like, I don't know. Nancy, well, there's some professors in the German department.
No, that's not. You guys were like, Whitney, what are you even looking for? And I was like, a German accent. And she was like, I know some people in the German department. It was like, she really did come through. She was fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So by the time this episode comes out, because I know you're not supposed to talk about dates. By the time this episode comes out, we'll have had our premiere. The Circle Hunt episode, the Pie Makes Pie Perfect, which is a special drop that was done with a partnership with the Simons Foundation. But our official season premiere,
April
11th. So check it out. We are introducing some great characters. We're talking about Beethoven. I think Beethoven's going to
Madam
be
C.J.
interesting
Walker.
because the people who look at Beethoven is like, that is not how Beethoven looked from the pictures I've seen, but it's authentic to what Beethoven looked like.
Yeah.
It's Madam C.J. Walker, Katherine Johnson,
Louis
Latimer,
Mm-hmm.
Frederick Jones.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 more special episodes, shout out to Simon's Foundation, where we talk about infinity
and Fibonacci.
And so
It's
Dunkin' Donuts,
hit us up.
because we got some stuff for Fibonacci that we're going to send you because y'all talked about it in y'all Super Bowl ad and we were watching and we're like, oh, we got to finish this and get it copywritten because they're going to think we did this for Dunkin'. Like, no, we have some.
No,
dope
Dunkin' was in our business.
stuff. Yes. And so we're going to be looking for a collaboration when y'all see this Fibonacci episode.
Hit us up. That's it. It's a wrap.
Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of The Princess of STEM with Dr. Whitney Gaskins. For more episodes, find us on YouTube and Spotify.